Sadiq Khan's political rivals have suggested that ULEZ money is being used to fund the London mayor's self-promotion in an election year. Sadiq Khan has been blasted for wasting £6.3 million of taxpayers' money on renaming London's Overground lines in an election year. The London mayor has been accused of splurging cash on a vanity project for self-promotion after a dismal record where he has plunged Transport for London into financial chaos and allowed knife crime to hit epidemic levels in the capital. The names unveiled by Mr. Khan were said to be left-wing inspired. Top of the list was the Windrush line from Highbury and Islington to Clapham Junction, New Cross, Crystal Palace, West Croydon. Renamed to commemorate the generation of immigrants who came from the Caribbean from 1948. The stretch from Euston to Watford Junction will be called the Lioness Line, to celebrate England's women's football team. The Mildmay Line, from Stratford to Richmond, Clapham Junction, celebrates the small hospital that looked after members of the LGBTQ+ community who first contracted HIV in the 1980s. The Weaver Line, from Liverpool Street to Cheshunt, Enfield Town, Chingford, represents the historic textile industry in the area. Then there is the Suffragette line running from Gospel Oak to Barking Riverside, named to celebrate the women who fought to get. Finally, the Liberty line from Romford to Upminster is meant to represent the defining quality of London and historical independence of people living in Havering on the far east of the capital. Mr. Khan called it a hugely exciting moment and said, "Giving each of the Overground lines distinct colours and identities will make it simpler and easier for passengers to get around. In reimagining London's tube map, we are also honouring and celebrating different parts of London's unique local history and culture. The new names and colours have been chosen through engagement with passengers, historians and local communities, reflecting the heritage and diversity of our amazing city." But Conservative London mayoral candidate Susan Hall said, 1,000 people have been killed, through knife crime, under his mayoralty, and yet Sadiq Khan is only interested in this virtue signalling nonsense. The only surprise from today's announcement is that he hasn't named one of them the Sadiq line. The Central line is in a terrible state, TfL is wasting money left, right and centre, crime on the tube is soaring, and Sadiq Khan is ignoring all of this to focus on his own PR. She added, "I will listen to Londoners, fix the problems with TfL and get a grip of crime." Meanwhile, Reform UK candidate Howard Cox has suggested that Mr. Khan can only afford the gimmick because he has raided a war chest created by hitting motorists in the pocket with his expanded ultra-low emission zone, ULEZ, charge of £12.50. Mr. Cox said, "What planet is Sadiq Khan on? His ULEZ perpetually full piggy bank is being used for yet more pointless costly virtue signalling project, none of which will reduce his personally created black hole of a huge deficit. All of these wastes of taxpayers' money and punitive driver charges will be dumped for a prudent common sense approach to manage London's finances when I become London's mayor."